Hey again. So now I'm going to share with you some of the free resources I was talking about in the work plan video. All right. So you should have links to this resource. And if you don't, then just make sure you check down in the description box where you can access this resource. All right. You remember before when I mentioned the VARK learning style? Well, that's what I set up this resource guide to play to. All right. So if you don't know what your VARK learning style is, go ahead and click on that link there, that hyperlink, and it will take you to the questionnaire. So the questionnaire has, I think it's about 18 or 20 questions that asks you a little bit about the way you like to learn. So once you understand the VARK learning style percentage that you have, all right, then you're going to know how to use these resources that I've collected for you. Now, VARK stands for visual, oral, that's auditory, read, write, and kinesthetic. All right. So it gives you a little bit of an idea of which of these four styles you are most comfortable with using. I personally am about 25% each. All right. I'm equally spread across the board. I'm considered multimodal, and I do need all of them in order to do well on these types of exams. So I've used this over the years. If you have already had this questionnaire, which some nursing schools offer this questionnaire as part of your leadership class or part of your health education class, and they help you with actually helping other adult learners learn. So it's a great way to get a sense of how you best learn. And so that's important for NCLEX review and NCLEX study, because I don't want you focusing on listening to MP3s if you're not an oral learner, all right? Someone who is falls under the A in VARK, all right? I might want to make sure that I have visual cues and memory graphics for people who are visual in their learning style. And we're all going to be a little kinesthetic as we use practice questions to help us with developing the stamina we need to be able to go in there and take these long exams that are multiple choice in nature. And so we use that as a kinesthetic method. So check it out, see if that works for you. And I'm going to go ahead and get back to our home slides here that were helping us guide our way. And they're called the study resources. That's where we were. All right. So you're definitely going to want to check that out. Once you know that, it'll give you a sense of some of the other tools and how you might lead yourself into content review. All right. But everybody's going to do practice questions. Content review is only one half of the formula for NCLEX study approach that we do here. So you got to have access to questions. Now, you may already have access to a great Q bank. All right. Archer Review, as I mentioned earlier. UWorld, a lot of people like the UWorld bank. Princeton Review recently purchased old exams from the NCSBN, which is the National Council of State Board of Nursing. So those are the folks who write the NCLEX. So if Princeton has that most recent version of their Q bank, then that would probably be a good one to use as well. Now, these Q banks come in different varieties at different cost levels, so you definitely want to check out what makes sense for you. Now, if you don't want to spend any more money, or if you're tight on cash, then you can absolutely use the resources that are listed here. These give you the 49 and 27 question banks, give you a sense of what it's like to take practice questions on the computer. All right. Some people don't care so much about being computer based, and that's fine as well. But right, 3,500 questions are in this particular question bank here. That's going to give you more than what you need to be able to practice for the NCLEX, especially using the work plan as I've described it there. Now, I'm going to click on this bank so you can see how it works. All right, it's by Nurses Labs. I am not sponsored by them. I don't have any affiliation with them, but I do notice that it's great for about 2 or 3 reasons. One of the reasons, and they update it regularly, I love it. One of the good reasons that works so well for this bank is that look at all of these NCLEX related topic areas. All right, so you get lots of questions and they're divided by topic areas. So you could start here with the outline. Just read through the outline, decide, okay, I want to test on fundamentals today. I want to see the test bank on fundamentals. Click on it there. It's going to take you to, it looks like about 8 or 9 banks of 75 question test banks, all right, here that you could just explore. Now, remember before when I was talking to you about having a work plan that allows you to have some comprehensive review, all right, and allows you to have occasional post assessments, all right, this is a great way to address that, all right, 75, 75, 75, 75, if add those together, you'll have 300 questions, all right. I really like this bank because it allows you to pull questions from specific topic areas, but there's also comprehensive practice, all right? Comprehensive pharmacology there. And I do believe at the very top, you have comprehensive RN practice questions for the RNs. And you have to scroll all the way to the bottom, but they are here. Look at all those different content areas. You'll get what you need here if you want to come in a focused way. All right. And then here's your PN bank. I didn't want to forget about our PNs. All right. Our RNs have comprehensive banks up there. And here are some NCLEX practice questions for our practical nurses as well. Definitely check out Nurses Labs. The links are down below in the description, and they give you a great way to access practice questions. All right. I'm just going to click on one here to show you what it looks like for those people who are going to be using this along with your work plan. Now, one thing I'm going to have to tell you is that you got to scroll down quite a bit to get to the actual bank. And when you get to this bank of squares, you know you are here with the questions. You can explore the questions one by one instead of having the questions all in one grouping given to you that way, where you're only able to look at the rationale after you've completed all the questions, is what I'm saying here. With this, you can look at a question, make a selection, and then immediately check to see if you scored it correctly. All right, you can go and then look at the rationale. And Nurses Labs has some pretty thorough rationale. So I think that's very helpful as well. All right, so check out this link if you need access to practice questions that are free and online. Sorry, the advertisements can be a bit overwhelming, so make sure you're clicking the X's where necessary. I don't think it's so overwhelming, but it can be a bit much if you're just wanting to fly through those questions. All right, so with that said, please be sure to check this resource out if it's helpful for you. All right, now I'm going to return back to our study resources so that I can make sure you also know about this other resource here. Now, they're organized by NCLEX conditions, all right, and NCLEX disorders, all right. I think that's a good way to study if you want to change your perspective a little bit. It's a 400-page resource. It is a PDF, and we want to save the trees, not printing out all 400 pages, but perhaps using your PDF reader tools in order to view the questions online and then perhaps make a score sheet or an answer sheet so that you can write down your answers and then go back and review them after you finish them. All right, so got lots of practice tests. They begin on page 75, chapter 9. All right, everything before that is like a lot of giving you a description of what the NCLEX is like, and it's kind of an NCLEX preparation guide. All right, so I do promote this, but it's free and available to you. But honestly, you can start here for the practice test because that's what it's actually really great for. All right, it comes with the practice test. All right, and the answers and rationale. All right, and what's great about it is that you can explore the practice questions by topic area. All right, the first area being nursing management of patients with cardiac disorders. All right, or you could explore nursing management of patients with vascular disorders. Check this out also, comprehensive practice exams are here. Comprehensive practice exams are here. So that's where you get a large volume of questions, and you also get different topic areas. So they're not just focusing on, the patient in the perioperative environment or the nursing management of childbearing women and newborns. All right, great topic areas you really get a chance to explore a lot. And that there are hundreds and hundreds of questions here. All right, so here are the answers along with the rationale. All right, so much wonderful content review can happen this way when you explore the practice questions in this way. And there are, again, hundreds and hundreds of questions on many, many topic areas. So definitely check that resource out as well. So now I'm going to make my way back to show you, now I just finished showing you how you can explore the practice NCLEX questions that you need for your work plan using these resources here. But I'd also like to show you what content review could look like in terms of free resources. So you don't have to go and buy extra books or go and look for expensive resource guides. All right. This one has been made, it's really one of the best. Mark K. If you haven't heard of Mark Klimick, please definitely find a way to expose yourself to some Mark Klimick material. This is a former nurse who, well, retired nurse, who put lots of years into various different fields of practice in nursing, really developed a lot of expertise in quite a few areas, became a question writer for the NCLEX, and developed a lot of the questions that we have become common patterns that we see today in our NCLEX question styles, types. And pretty much he's one of the folks who helped to kind of solidify the way NCLEX presents its questions. So with that in mind, at some point, he became an NCLEX review person. So he would go around to different colleges and to different areas to help nursing students better understand how to study for the NCLEX. And so over the years, I guess people have recorded his lectures. He's no longer doing these, I don't think. And so we've gotten access to these coveted lectures that he gives for NCLEX preparation or NCLEX review. And I've explored them, and many hundreds and hundreds of other students have explored them. And so I use a lot of his tenets because of his proximity, or his proximity to the NCSBN and the NCLEX. So I think the tips you get there are priceless, and they help me to elevate students' level of knowledge, their knowledge base, and their level of skills with actually taking the test. So it can also increase your test taking skills. You can just check out the Google Doc. I'll click on that so you can see what that looks like. Lecture slides, all right, or more like notes. I think this is a particular student who was a proficient and prolific and wonderful note taker. So these are the best that I've seen online, and there are quite a few sets of notes that are out there. All right. So if you're the type of person who is oral and you can learn from hearing, all right, if you have these notes in front of you here, and you don't have to take the notes, you can just listen. This is a great way for you to get this content in. And he's divided it by the areas most tested on the NCLEX, all right? And he talks about the way the test creators think when they create those questions, all right? So it's helpful to know right from the horse's mouth what you're getting yourself into. I'll return to the study resource guide here to also click on his audio lectures that are available on YouTube, all right? Right there on YouTube, you can get access to Mark K's 12 lectures, all right, which are very important. But this particular YouTuber has also pulled together the Blue Book. What is the Blue Book? The Blue Book. He has a blue book and a yellow book. They are guides that help you when you're listening to the lecture to write down notes, all right? He has developed this method where you listen, you fill in the blanks as he is lecturing to you, and somehow you learn, all right? Not everybody works well with that method, but if you think that you have the time, all right, because these are lengthy lectures and really require you to kind of be focused in to do that. And every content day, you aren't going to have 2.5, 3 hours to study. So you do need time. You do need time. You need to find the time to listen to Mark K, but it's so worth it. All right. And if you just want access to the yellow book and the blue book on Quizlet, I've curated it here for you. So you just click on it, and what it looks like is flashcards. All right. So you just progress through about 500 cards here, and you are going to get NCLEX facts. All right. You're going to bone up on some of the most important facts for you to know, all right, from the NCLEX. And he kind of does it from a very base level and works you up. Look at all those ads though. That's on Quizlet. All right, so that is what's going on with the Mark K material. All right, let's move on so you can see the other resources I have. I don't want to hold you long. All right, so here's the NCLEX High Yield. He's another NCLEX prep person who has prepared a lot of brief videos that kind of give you a lot of power-packed lecture content in that period of time. When we're together, we don't have a whole lot of time. So I want to be able to reference out some of these other content creators who have focused NCLEX review that might be helpful to you. Say you're like, when she mentioned heart failure, I didn't feel too strong about that. I feel like I need some more heart failure review. Go ahead and check out, click on here. It'll take you to a video, all right? And it'll give you some information on heart failure, all right? I am working to curate that and make that a little bit better. But for folks who don't have a lot to work with, you might want to just go ahead and check that out and see what you find, all right? I will say though, that you have to, sometimes with these folks that are selling you something, you have to get through the promotional material first before you get to the goodies, all right? So I was thinking I might timestamp them when I get a moment to do that so that you can get right to the good stuff, all right? But many of these topics are topics that you are only going to get on, that you're only going to find in these little links that I've shared with you, all right? Otherwise, you're hard pressed to kind of get quick, focused review. That's what I want you to look for, all right? This is a blog that is good for the read-write people who don't mind reading and seeing things on the graphic page, on the visuals on the page, all right? There are system sections here divided by systems, or when I say systems, I mean systems of the body, all right? And that may not always be the best way for people to do NCLEX review, but it is a helpful and organized way, all right? It's also diagnostic tests in here, antibiotics. Everything is not only system oriented here, but it's a great place to start if you just say you wanted to look at diagnostic tests to get an idea of all the tests that you need to know to be prepared for the NCLEX, all right? EKGs, all right, gives you a little bit here, more than you really need, all right? I'm gonna tell you the 5 EKG strips that you need to know that are most important. But that said, there's a deeper dive here that may help you make the connection you need to make. So you gotta know your learning style, you gotta know what works best for you, all right? And then you are in a position to make choices in terms of content review that work best for you. All right, diagnostic tests made easy. I love this page. I love to reference this page because do you know what happens in a bronchoscopy? Are you clued in as to all that you need to consider in terms of nursing interventions for patients undergoing X-ray, thoracentesis, pulmonary angiographies, even ABGs, all right? This is a helpful little stop to make in your NCLEX study journey if you are finding that you need something to help you with content review, all right? And I think besides that, there are other resources for you to check out. Definitely, if they're underlined with the blue, then you can click on them and you may find, and they're organized by topic area. So click on it. Maybe it's something you can incorporate. Maybe it's something that you won't find helpful, but I just put it all here so that you can eat the meat, throw away the bones. That's my motto. Eat what you need, throw away what you don't. All right, mnemonics. Mnemonics are these memory tools that help you remember or smash into your short-term memory things that don't come there naturally. All right, and I think this is a great website for finding these cool little nursing or NCLEX focused graphics here that can help you with memorizing things, all right? So there are about 75 here. And some of them are great for giving you the foundational support for knowledge that you have long since forgotten, right? Like, how do I keep up with blood blood flow through the cardiac valves. NCLEX isn't going to ask you which valve does, blood flow, from the left ventricle out to aorta. All right, it's not going to ask you that, but if you have that understanding, then you understand what right to left shunting means. All right, and that becomes something that's important for looking at pediatric cardiac disorders. All right, so the blue babies. All right, so we definitely need to know the base knowledge so that it can help us with understanding the different systems and processes that can go wrong in the client and therefore be tested on state boards. All right, so yeah, definitely check this out if this is something that's helpful to you. Do you know how to treat an MI? Do you know what the MONA protocol is? All right. If these things are foreign to you, then it might be helpful for you to come and check out this website. All right. Again, we add that to the list of resources that you have available to you. All right. And also, along the line of mnemonics, I have sprinkled about many other different nursing mnemonics. All right, ways to help you remember certain concepts when you're studying. Now, if you have access to this resource, you can just click onto any of these. I've gathered them from all over the internet. All right, and most of the resources, I've shared the source material so that you can click on it, enlarge it, make it useful to you if you're not able to see it here. I just kind of curated it all here and pulled it together here. So it's completely up to you. Definitely check out these memory graphics or infographics regarding body positioning. Very important on the NCLEX. They expect for you to know the proper positions for your clients, especially ones coming back from diagnostic procedures or from surgical procedures, or ones patients that are preparing for certain procedures, or patients experiencing distress and needing rescue positions. Whatever the case, body positioning is very much in your nursing scope of practice, and you absolutely need to understand all the positions and what they're good for. All right. You're going to need to know nursing delegation. So why not check out some of these resources that help you to remember dosage calculations for your fill in the blank style questions. There are tools you should use to help you memorize those main three dosage calculations. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, then definitely check out the dosage calculation lecture as well. All right, so I have this resource the next to the last page called NCLEX Memory Graphics. All right, the link to that will be down in the description box as well. But when you click on NCLEX Memory Graphics, all right, it's going to take you out to this resource here. Now, what is this resource? Another slide deck of resources, but they're mostly visual graphics. Memory graphics, things to help you ingrain things in your memory, NCLEX related topics. So I've just collected from all over the internet resources that are available to you. All right, so we've already talked about this one, Ask Graph. All right, is some way that a mnemonic that helps us memorize what we're going to do, or 8 conditions that are problem conditions in those prioritization questions. I have other tools and graphics here that can be helpful for you. All right, so definitely check that out as well. You'll see some duplication or some replication of tools that are useful to you. If you see that, then know how important it is, because I've actually bothered to put it in more than one place, because I don't ever want my students to feel like they can't relocate information that we've gone over in our session. So definitely check out these resources, because there's so much for you to know. All right. So at some point or the other, I use these in our sessions as well to help drive home certain points. So I do use these, and I think you should too. Every single thing that's been curated here are concepts that you need to know for NCLEX. All right. So definitely use that as well. All right, I think that is all I want to share with you from this resource. Please definitely leave in the comments anything that you think I should know about this, whether or not the links are working okay, if you're able to use them successfully, these resources, or if you'd like me to add anything else to these resources. All right, take care and bye for now.